Hi there, my name is Firefighter Ethan, and I'm going to be reading you No Dragons for Tea. One warm sunny day at the end of last week, my mom and I went for a walk to the creek. As I raced down the hill in my little red wagon, I veered to the left and smacked into a dragon. I suppose he could see there was fear in my eyes as I jumped to my feet, quite filled with surprise. He sheepishly grinned and stepped out of the way, but he seemed so polite that I asked him to play. We had a cute bear and some other toys too. With my shovel and pail we'd have oodles to do. We ran to the creek and then on to the bay, where we played on the beach for the rest of the day. Then Mom waved and said, "Now it's time to go eat. Let's pack the red wagon and head up the street." It's hard to stop playing with friends old or new, so I asked if the dragon could come to eat too. Mom wrinkled her brow and squinted her eyes, looking up at the dragon's incredible size. I begged and I pleaded, then said very sweet, "We won't make a mess, we'll be tidy and neat." So at last she said, "Yes, just this once I'll agree. You may have the dragon come over for tea." We had carrots and apples, thick slices of ham, with fresh homemade biscuits and strawberry jam, cold glasses of milk and a great big dill pickle, but the pepper we sprinkled sure made my nose tickle. Then the dragon's nose twitched, and he started to wheeze. My eyes misted up, his eyes misted up, and he blew a great sneeze. Achoo! Well, we all know what happens when dragons achoo. Flames shot from his mouth, and from both nostrils, too. Our tablecloth sparked and then burst into flame, and the curtains that hung right beside did the same. The smoke alarm rang. What a loud, piercing sound! It meant, "Get out fast!" So I dropped to the ground. The room filled with smoke as I crawled on the floor and started to make my way to the front door. The dragon got scared and decided to hide. But I knew when there's fire, we must get outside. I grabbed his thick tail, and with one mighty tug, I pulled that big dragon from under the rug. I crept down the hallway and said, "Follow me, I know the way out. We must meet by the tree." So Mom and the dragon and I all met there. Then that silly old dragon went back for his bear. We ran up and caught him and wouldn't let go. And I said, "Listen, dragon, here's what you should know. Don't ever go back. That just will not do. We can get a new bear, but we can't replace you." Since the fire was burning inside of our home, we went to the neighbors to borrow the phone. Mom knew what to dial and said calm and clear, "Here's our full address. Send the fire trucks here." Before very long, down our street they came sailing, with bright red lights flashing and loud sirens wailing. The fire crew rushed to start work on their tasks. They were dressed in big boots and wore helmets and masks. They hooked up the hose and ran into the house, where they sprayed streams of water in order to douse the table, the curtains, our lovely snack too, and it didn't take long till that fire was through. The fire chief called out the door with a shout, "The smoke made a mess, but the fire is out." My poor friend the dragon knew he was to blame, so he hung down his head and wept great tears of shame. One of the fire crew said, "Don't be sad. You knew what to do, and of that we're quite glad. You all got out safely, that's really what matters." Then she took us to see the big pump truck and ladders. The dragon put on a shiny red hat, and I asked to see where the fire crew sat. She showed us the siren, the hoses and lights, and the ladders they climb up to reach higher heights. The rest of the fire crew checked all the rooms, while a fan in the door blew out gray smoke and fumes. Then the dragon and we sat down for a while. I reached up and hugged him. He gave me a smile. The next time the dragon and I want to play, we'll pack up a picnic and go to the bay. We are friends, tried and true, the best we can be, but I'll never again invite dragons for tea. All right, let's talk a little bit about fire safety and some things that girl did really well and some things that the dragon probably needs to learn. So if there is a fire in your home, you should have smoke detectors. I'm sure you do up on your ceiling. You can ask your parents what those look like if you don't know. And those are going to alarm. Sometimes that just means dinner is ready, at least in my house. But you always have to be careful because it could mean that there's a fire, because what those do is smell smoke. So if there's a fire, you should always have a meeting place. That's one thing they had. Out by the mailbox, maybe a tree, but somewhere outside where everybody can meet at the same place. Now, if there's fire, fires make smoke. If you have a campfire, that smoke all just goes up into the sky and disappears, and that's just fine. But if you have a fire in a building, the smoke wants to go up into the sky, but it gets stuck at the ceiling, and it gets lower and lower and lower, and you can't breathe very well in smoke, and it's hot. So you want to get down low, and one thing that girl did is crawl, which is really important. She crawled under the smoke so she could see. If you're in your bedroom and it's really smoky in the hallway, or if your door is closed and you reach up and you feel and it's hot, you don't open that door, or if it's smoky in the hallway, you close the door. It's going to take a long time for smoke, and especially for fire, to come all the way through the door, and by that time, the fire department will be there, and we have ladders, and we can come help you through your window. If you want to let us know that you're there, that would be great. Go over to the window. You can open that up if you want. You can throw stuff out the window. You can throw toys or clothes, even your dirty underwear. And when we get there, we'll walk right around that house. We'll see that stuff. We'll know that's unusual. We'll look up. We should be able to see you and find you, throw a ladder, and come and get you out of there. But if you are able to get outside, go to your meeting place. And definitely don't go back inside for anything, even pets or other family members. That's what we're there for. We're going to wear our special equipment. I've got these special pants and boots. I'm going to put on the rest of my clothes, and I'm going to bring my own air with me so I don't have to breathe that horrible smoke. And me and my friends, the other firefighters, will come and help you. Okay? So, just some basic things to remember for fire safety. Have a meeting spot. Stay low under the smoke. Close the door if you're in your bedroom and it's not safe to go out the normal way. Okay? And they talked about the phone number in the book, and different places might have a different number, but for us, that number to call for help is 911. Dial 911 if you have an emergency.